Catapulting Commissions family. What's up, team? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Catapulting Commissions podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Garcia. Today, guess what, family? We have a solo episode. It's me. It's going to be me, myself, and I. And I don't have a guest, but I have some fired up guests coming in the near future. So if this is your first time listening to the show, welcome. We're definitely going to drop some value on you today. If you're a longtime subscriber, be sure to have your notifications turned on because you're not going to want to miss the guests we have coming up in the next 2 weeks. So guarantee that. All right, guys, what are we going to talk about today? Here's the deal. ChatGPT. How is AI technology helping entrepreneurs get more done in less time? Here's the deal. If you have been living under a rock, maybe you haven't heard of ChatGPT. And I hate saying that because I know my listeners kind of span. I have some really young tech savvy listeners, and I have some more tenured professionals who don't rely on technology as much. With that being said, every business, every period in time has a transitional period where something is changing the way we do business. OpenAI is that product, is that company. ChatGPT is that product, and it's here to stay. So if you are an entrepreneur in any shape, form, or capacity, I'm going to tell you this right now. Your job, your career can either be automated out or implemented with it in. And let's talk about those differences. So if you haven't adapted to using artificial intelligence in your business, I can guarantee you somewhere out there, artificial intelligence is being designed to replace your role in your business. It's happening right now. Now, a lot of jobs are going to be automated over the next 20 or 30 years. Guaranteed that. The new roles or what things are going to be doing are going to be people who learn how to control, implement, and utilize AI are going to be effective. In this golden window that we have for the foreseeable future here in the next several 10 years, I don't know. I can't read minds. I can't predict the future. But what I can say is those that adapt to using artificial intelligence are going to be significantly ahead of their competitors. So let's talk about ChatGPT. What exactly is ChatGPT? Well, ChatGPT is a product that's derived from the company OpenAI. OpenAI is a company started in 2015, has a bunch of like who's who in the world of entrepreneurs put together the OpenAI company, right? One is named Elon Musk. I'm sure you've heard of him. I'm sure you know him. Now, ChatGPT is a product of OpenAI. Now, the OpenAI service and platform, a lot of companies use the resources. It's essentially an artificial intelligence. And I'm going to look at my cheat sheets here. So if you're watching the video, I want you to bear with me because I had to have my cheat sheet up here. And if you're listening to the audio, then you don't know I'm looking at my cheat sheet. But essentially, OpenAI has 7 different products, some language models, some successor models, all utilizing the facts of artificial intelligence. Now, a ChatGPT is a short, didn't know this, generative pre-trained transformer 3. That's what ChatGPT stands for. Didn't know if you knew that. Generative pre-trained transformer 3. Now, here's the deal. You don't ever have to say that. At this point, you're like, why the hell do I care about this? Well, here's the cool thing. ChatGPT makes your life easier. And the way it works is ChatGPT is a website, web platform currently. There's not an app for it, but you can use it on your phone. So if you go to openai.com, you can use this service for free. And we'll have that link in the show notes. Now, there's a waiting list to get, if you're new, you never used it. There's also upgraded mode where you can pay $20 a month. But right now, that waiting list gives you free access. ChatGPT launched in November of 2022. Within the first week, it had 1 million users. Fastest growing software, fastest growing subscription model of all time. Don't know what the number is now, but right now, ChatGPT is free. Don't know how long it's going to be free. Some estimate it takes about $100,000 a day to run the company. And it is a for-profit company. So some way, shape, form, this company is generating revenue. Now, I'm not here to discuss that. What I'm here to discuss is how do you use it. So if you want visuals, right, you can obviously, this website or this show is the audio version. The website, if you're watching the YouTube, it's just me talking. But I have another YouTube video that we just released this past Monday, and it's titled 5 Fun Things to Do with ChatGPT, things you didn't know you could do. So go to that YouTube video. I show you, I pull up my screen. You can see everything there. On this show today, we're just going to kind of give you the highlights. So if you're driving in your car right now, you're listening, make a note. You want to go visit chat.openai.com. So how do we use ChatGPT? Super duper simple. You go to the website, chat.openai.com. You sign in, you register for your account. You register for an account there, and now you write anything and everything that you want to know or utilize. One of the most common ways of using ChatGPT right now is for writing tasks, submitting emails, writing blog posts, creating social media content. And it does this in a fraction of the time. So I was having a conversation with a client earlier, and we were discussing the ability to create something new. Blog article, direct email outreach to customers, follow-up email outreach to customers. The amount of time entrepreneurs spend creating something, the email, the social media posts, the content, is so high right now because you have to create it from scratch. If I can just give you a template and you can fill in the blanks or adjust the template to match the tone of your voice, it would shorten the learning curve. So, for example, today's episode, the template and the script is created from ChatGPT. I literally put in ChatGPT and I said, hey, write me out a podcast script to explain the benefits of ChatGPT on how entrepreneurs can get more done in less time. And it spit out, here's the outline. First, I want to teach you how to understand ChatGPT. How do we use ChatGPT for research? How do we use it for writing? How do we use it for task management? Conclusion. And it gives me all the bullet points. And I got to be honest with you. I've been podcasting 4 years. Been putting content out for 4 years. Blog posts, articles, wrote a book, been in interviews. And I will tell you this. I've never come across something that is as easy to use as ChatGPT. Here's the kicker, guys. I don't have any endorsement, don't have any affiliation. I make no money if you use ChatGPT. With all honesty, I don't care if you do or if you don't. If you don't, and we're competitors, you're going to be behind. That I will say. And if you're trying to get a leg up on your competition, then you need to start learning how to use AI. So let's talk about how we use ChatGPT for research. So ChatGPT goes through the world of Google. We'll just use Google as the mainframe. It goes through the world of the internet. Majority of the data that ChatGPT has is pre-2021. So if you think about the days, oh my God, I'm going to date myself. When I grew up, we had encyclopedias, right? I'm sure you do too. Maybe, I don't know, some of my younger listeners. If you don't remember what an encyclopedia is, encyclopedia, book A, book B, and you list all the stuff out. And if I want to learn about dinosaurs, I'd go to the D section, click dinosaurs, and have all these articles or this description of what a dinosaur was, where they lived. And that was how we got information before the internet. ChatGPT has all of that information at its disposal. So to use ChatGPT for research, I can go and say, hey, ChatGPT, show me the 5 biggest mistakes homeowners made during the last financial crash. It'll scour the research, it'll look at data, it'll look at articles, it'll look at interviews, it'll have all this information it's pulling, and it'll list out the 5 things. I want to do research. Hey, ChatGPT, can you share with me why the presidential election of 2000 came down to what's called the Chad vote? Right? If you remember that, if you don't, I just aged myself. Right? Or the Chad, it was the Chad vote, I think it was called. And ChatGPT will explain that to you. Hey, ChatGPT, can you share with me the trend of B2B sales. What are consumers looking for in 2023? Now, as I said, it's going to cut off in 2021, but it will scour the internet and give you enough data that you can create your own content. You can use it for research. So instead of spending time searching for Google, you can use ChatGPT. Example, on this show and on the YouTube channel, we produce and post tons of content. To create this content, my team does a lot of research. I do research as well, but I have an amazing team behind me. Shout out to my team. They're listening to the show right now. They do a lot of the research, right? My copywriter, she puts stuff in front of me. She says, here's the articles, here's what we've researched. And we kind of go back and forth on the ideas, right? So I know sometimes my content comes off like I'm an amazing genius. I just have an amazing team behind me that pulls a lot of this research for me. So let's shorten it. Let's say I want to teach something about the keys to following up that are backed by science. How do I follow up with a potential customer backed by science? I would go to ChatGPT and I would say, can you share with me 5 articles that are published that talk about customer follow-up that are backed by data or backed by science? And ChatGPT will scour the internet and list the 5 articles for me. I got to be honest with you, you can't do that on Google right now. So you should find a way to implement ChatGPT for research. I just gave you a few examples. And if you go watch the video that we posted this past Monday, you'll see the fun ways to use ChatGPT. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel and you've seen we've talked a lot about ChatGPT, next Monday, I'm going to show you 5 marketing ways to use ChatGPT in terms of like following some of the marketing frameworks. So that'll be a fun one as well. All right, another way you use ChatGPT is writing. Now, how long have you sat in front of a computer to try to write one email? To write the perfect email, to craft the email that is going to get you the deal, the email that's going to have your customer say yes. It is scary to think that there's entrepreneurs out there that will sit in front of their computer and spend 45 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour and a half to craft an email to send to a potential customer that they don't know if it's going to be open, received, going to move the needle along, but you've invested all this time because you're trying to craft that perfect email. ChatGPT will do that. So for example, in one of my follow-up emails to a potential customer, I literally put, write an email, : this email is a follow-up email. I just met, we're going to leave a standard name. This email is for David Jones. David Jones is a potential customer. David Jones owns XYZ company. We just had a 45-minute consultation about ways to improve the growth of his company. Some of the areas we talked were increasing his sales force, talking about his marketing budget, and talking about affiliate marketing. I'd like to send him an email thanking him for his time, expressing to him that I know my company can help him, and I look forward to connecting with him on June 2nd. That's the day we said we had follow-up, and let him know I'll be sending him additional resources between now and then. And guess what? ChatGPT scripts out this beautifully scripted, well-written email that makes you sound like a genius. Another way, the commercials that are recorded for the Catapulting Commissions podcast. So we just added in our very first 2 commercials ever, right? 4 years on the show, never had a commercial. We now have 2 commercials. Now, this doesn't mean that I sold the show for advertisers because I've been pretty committed. So the commercials are more for the Catapulting Commissions company. It's talking about 2 products and 2 service offerings we have and all that fun stuff. And you'll probably hear it on this episode. If not, you hear them on the next episode. We're literally, I'm just reviewing the final drafts today. So the script for those commercials written by AI. I literally went in AI and I said, hey, speaking of script, right? We own discoveryscript.com. And one of the big things that we do here is we believe our training on how to have a discovery call is best in the world. And we share that in a 7-question discovery script that literally changes the way you have a conversation with the customer. You can go to discoveryscript.com and download it. Make that into a commercial. Boom, we made it to a commercial. I'm conducting a business review for a client. And I have my own notes and my own systems of how I conduct business reviews. Now, let me share this with you. I've been in business over 20 years. I've been doing business reviews for about 20 years. I'm pretty comfortable in knowing what to do with a business review. And I have a script and a template of that I follow when I do business reviews. This business review coming up, I'm like, you know what? Let me see what OpenAI tells me. So I put the details of my customer. My customers in this industry, they do this. They've been in business for this long. Here's the problem we're trying to solve. We're doing a 1-day business review. Write me out an agenda that I should follow to ensure I help alleviate his concern of not making enough revenue. And boy, I'll tell you this, I have no ego here. The script ChatGPT created was significantly better than what I've been using for years. And I was like, oh boy. So what did I do? You're damn right. I adopted. I took the ego out and I said, hey, this outline is better than what I had. Now, is it replacing me? Absolutely not. Because there's a certain level of expertise and experience that a live human has that OpenAI doesn't have, right? But it does make my job easier. Now, those that are in the marketing industry, sales is really below it, pretty close next. There's a lot of concern that ChatGPT and OpenAI is going to replace people. The answer is yes, it will, unless you adapt. Point blank, got to be honest with you. Many years ago, I had a copywriter help create some content and some articles and some fun stuff for me. I spent thousands of dollars having this copywriter put things together, making sure they're well written, putting them all together, grammatical errors, all this fun stuff. But it was more the ideation of the content that this copywriter was creating. For giggles, I wanted to see how quick could I recreate that with ChatGPT. It literally took me 30 minutes to create 150, 160 pages of content. That's insane. The speed in which you can create content is incredibly fast. Here's another way to create ChatGPT for writing. I speak to entrepreneurs all the time that say, I don't know how to use social media. Like, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to create. It's crowded out there. I don't know, right? Like, people, I'm not funny. I'm not entertaining. Okay. Write out what you want to talk about. Or go to ChatGPT. Hey, I am in this industry. I'm looking for a social media post that's entertaining. Can you give me some ideas? It'll list them out for you. Or here's my favorite. I just had an opportunity to spend some time with Women's Council of Realtors in Ventura County. And if you're listening, you're new to the show, thank you for being in attendance. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and share some insight. Now, if I'm in real estate and I want to use ChatGPT, oh man, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the listing on the MLS, the previous listing, the listing from 20 years ago, the description the homeowner gives me, whatever it is, I'm going to say, hey, this is the information. Better yet, I'm just going to plug the address in ChatGPT and say, write me out a description to list that markets this home. It's going to shorten your learning curve significantly. I have seen really poorly written MLS descriptions, and it does it in a fraction of the time. Then I'm going to say, hey, create a social media post based on this description. And it's going to spit it out for me. Let's say I'm doing a discovery call or a listing presentation, and someone tells me everything they want, and I have all my notes written or dictated. Here's another way I used ChatGPT recently. I have all my meetings recorded. And so I took a transcription of a recording and I said, hey, create a summary brief that I can email to my client. Man, using this information, boom, game changer. So let's shorten your learning curve with ChatGPT for writing because it's there, it's easy to use, it's free. Now, I will say this. There are competitors or other companies that use the OpenAI platform right now that can do artificial intelligence for writing. I use a company. So let me go through this properly. My company uses 3 platforms for copywriting. We use ChatGPT, we use Jasper AI, and we use Neuron Writer. They all have their own quirks on what I like about them, what I dislike about them. Jasper and Neuron, we pay a subscription for them. ChatGPT, we use the free version still. Haven't really found the need yet to pay for the $20 a month version, but if it gets there, there's no doubt we will subscribe to it. We use these programs all the time. It has made my job easier. It has made the job of my assistants easier. I mean, my video editor, unfortunately, she doesn't use ChatGPT right now. She still is very skilled and puts all this together. So kudos to her. But I'm just sharing with you guys, there's ways to use ChatGPT. Another way you use ChatGPT, task management. Okay. ChatGPT can help manage your to-do list, can help prioritize tasks. Example, it helps you schedule meetings. It can set reminders. You can link it to your calendar. I mean, there's numerous ways for AI that can help you be efficient. And here's the thing. If you have a website and you want to put a chat bot on there and you're concerned about writing the code, or you want to you don't want to spend thousands of dollars for someone to write the code, ChatGPT writes computer code in front of your eyes in a fraction of the time. So if you go and you say, hey, create me a chatbot, here's the 6 questions that are most common, here's the responses, I'd like to have this in a chatbot that I can put on my website. It's going to spit out the code to do it. That's insane. You want to help schedule meetings? You want to help do some task reminders? There's several different Google Chrome extensions right now that help utilize ChatGPT. It's not officially from the OpenAI platform yet, but I anticipate that that'll be coming. And the competitors, right? So Jasper AI is one of the competitors. I would call it a competitor to ChatGPT. They do things a little different. Jasper AI has a Chrome extension. How does this Chrome extension work? Man, it's linked to everything. So I literally tell Jasper, do this for me, and it goes behind the scenes and does stuff. So got to be honest with you guys, jump on to this trend of ChatGPT. Now, main thing here, let's not resist technology here. Like it 100%. The way we use technology is going to help us grow both as entrepreneurs, sales professionals, and really just as humans. Now, in my video, I'm going to reference it one more time, the link's in the show notes. We put out this past Monday. You'll see 5 fun ways to use ChatGPT. I got to be honest with you. Didn't think ChatGPT could make it fun? Boy, it made it fun. And I'll show you how we use that. So go click out that video. It's incredibly fun. It's sufficient. For those of you that are husbands that don't know how to write a love letter, game changer. I'm telling you, it's mind-blowing. So we're going to have some fun with that. So go check that video out. But for you, the entrepreneur, here's the thing. ChatGPT, point 1, use it for research. Summarize it. Ask it to pull articles. Ask it to pull links. Ask it to share previous history. Ask it to share some data. It's going to list it all out for you. Takes everything you find on Google, condenses it down to one form. Writing. You should never spend a long time writing an email ever again. Ever. If you are like me, and I'm going to share this with you, I don't spell very well. Like I have Grammarly, I have all these tools and widgets on my computer to help me not spell. And half the time when I work with clients and we share a screen, I have to type something. I'm like, look, by the way, I know you're paying me some money to work with you. I don't spell very well. Everything you get from me has been proofread, but just in case, right? So when I want to write an email, I write it as if I'm a 3rd grader. I literally say, go to ChatGPT, write an email to Mike. Tell Mike that I had a good time at the meeting. Tell Mike I'm interested in moving forward with his business. Tell Mike I have a lot to think about. I'm going to consult with my partners. And tell Mike if he has any additional things that would help influence the decision for my partners to please send them my way. Make this sound professional, grateful for his time, and let him know that this is not a decision we're taking lightly. And it spits out this email, very well written. Awesome. Task management. Have ChatGPT create the list for you. Have it create your to-do list. Have it set examples, or have it show you some examples of ways to streamline or automate things, right? You can literally go into ChatGPT, help me automate the following task, and it'll give you the tools, the resources, and the abilities to do so. A lot of the apps you see right now, or the programs that are automating tasks or making things easier, a lot kind of use that OpenAI platform already. So we're not far off from this space. And I'll end with this quick story. Many, many years ago, there was a movie called Demolition Man. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock. And it talks about how mankind transitions based in Los Angeles, which is, I think it's called San Angeles now. And it shows how much change, right? moral of the story, Wesley Snipes' character and Sylvester Stallone's character, one's a criminal, one's a cop. The cop catches the criminal, they cryo freeze them, and they get them stuck in this cryo freeze, and then they thaw them out, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years later into this world of we do not recognize. But in that world that we don't recognize, boy, everything is automated, from driving to accounting to food to I mean, really everything. It's the future, and it looks really weird. Like, is this going to be the future of our world? I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a fortune teller, but I will tell you that in that movie, it shows you the impact of AI, the bots talking to you, the automatic reminders. If you use Alexa, you're already using AI. It just shows you how far we can advance. So, in your entrepreneurial journey, take this opportunity to advance and grow and utilize ChatGPT. So, here's the deal, Catapult Commissions family. If you like what you heard today, be sure to subscribe to this show and let me know. Shoot out to me, shoot me a DM. Let me know, hey, this is how I'm using ChatGPT. Or if you have questions, reach out. We'd love to share some feedback with you. And as always, we're going to see you on the next episode. We have an amazing guest lined up. Thanks for listening today, guys. I'll talk with you soon.